In this chapter, as we have seen, it touches the matter of eating, touches our diet. But it concerns very much life or death, right? Have you noticed in this chapter the word carcass? I would ask you young ones, try the best to find out how many times the word carcass is mentioned in chapter 11. I do believe more than 5 times. And the word die, D-I-E, also is used, right? Without dying, there'll be no carcass, right? Without death, there will be no carcass. As long as there is the carcass, there is death. And carcass really means what? Means death. So, the matter concerning our diet is a matter of life or death. If we contact the clean things, we get life, right? If we contact the dirty things, unclean things, we get what? We get death. And for the uncleanness, chapter 11, I believe uses at least 3 words to denote the same thing. Uncleanness. Uncleanness. Abominable. It is abominable. And you have another word, detest. Detest. That means you hate the uncleanness to the top. Why? Because uncleanness brings in death to you. When you ever touch something unclean, I tell you, that means you touch death. Right? Uncleanness is a synonym in this chapter to death. Where uncleanness is, there is death. And this death is altogether consummated in the carcass. You have to notice that even the clean things, they are clean. You can eat them, you can contain them, but once they die, they're no more clean. Why? Because they become carcasses. After they die, they are no more living. Right? As they last alive, so they last their cleanness. They become unclean. I'd like to tell you a story about myself. In my whole life, I don't like to see a dead body. Today, according to the very popular custom, habit, at a funeral, there was always a part to see the dead body. Right? You say, well, I love him. I still remember him. I like to look at him for the last time because he's going to be buried. So now I could never see him again. So in a funeral, you are afforded with a very good point. I only say good point, not a good thing. Regardless how much art dead upon a dead face. You know, they put out a lot of white, a lot of red, a lot of black, a lot of things. The more they put the things on, the more it looked lucky. Not luckily. Ugly. Well, I learned not to do that. Recently, I attended a funeral of a young co-worker. I love him to the uttermost, but when that thing came up, that we all have to go through his coffin and look at him, I was hesitating whether I would go or not. Eventually, I made the decision not to go, because I will have a very frightening, ugly impression in my mind, maybe for a few days, especially in the night. So, this means what? This means death is an ugly thing. It's altogether detestable, abominable. So here it says what? Here it says, abstain from death. Apparently, chapter 11 talks about abstaining from uncleanness. But eventually it comes up to this point, not abstaining from uncleanness, but abstaining from death. And you have to know, we are not here talking about mainly the physical death. We are here mainly talking about the spiritual death. Spiritual death, right? And spiritual death is more popular on this earth than physical death. All the world, the entire totality of the world population is death. What is there on this earth? Death. Everywhere. Everywhere. In the stores, in the shops, in the offices, in the schools, the classmates. Right? What is there? In the best place, even the most moral place, ethical place, death is there. Death. Needless to say, those worst places, like the dancing place, nightclubs, and so forth. Right? Even the most moral place, ethical place, is full of deaths, spiritual deaths. This is what we like to see. And this is what this chapter intends to train us. That we have to try our best to abstain from the spiritual deaths.